Alright, hey everybody. So the single for Write a Song comes out on Saturday, the day before Halloween. And I figured I would just tell a little bit of a story around it. The year and a half before deciding to cut this track loose, I've been working really hard to get better at producing my own stuff and just recording things at home. My wife has been very generous and understanding about letting me set up a studio in our house, and I could not be more grateful. But there was a point where I really was starting to get burned out on just the nuances of making things sound good, and I started to not hear the things that I really like in like particularly rock and roll recordings anymore. And I thought, man, I need to just kind of get back to basics on this and kind of start from the ground up now that I, know more about what I'm doing. I knew what to avoid with things that just didn't sound good. And I just kind of got it in my head like I need to do something that's raw to get inspired again to remember those first early days when it was exciting and fun to finally be able to get together with somebody with a tape machine or something and actually put something on record. Going back now, probably, man, yeah, little more than 20 years, just over 20 years was the first time I actually got to sit down with my high school era band called Torpedo 7 and record the 20 or so songs we had at that point. Yeah, I remember like I don't think the band was getting along all that well, and it just didn't matter. It all got put aside, and we focused, and we knocked out the entire record in a day. It didn't sound incredible, but the guy and his friend that mastered the thing did the best job they could with musicians that were as amateur at least as I was. I was very fortunate actually to be in a band with a drummer that was incredible and a very very competent and charismatic bass player. It was good times, and that day was probably the peak experience in retrospect. I don't know how much fun we had on the day. It was hard work, but man, I remember that day very fondly now for sure. But there were no frills. It was just all right. We know the songs. We're gonna start playing, and we're gonna keep going until we have a record. And I just wanted to knock something out like that, in maybe a half an hour. I wanted to just be able to go, all right, I'm sitting down, I'm doing this from scratch, I'm just gonna have fun. It still felt fun when it was done, and it really is mostly an improvised song. I did sit down and write lyrics for write a song, but it wasn't with any kind of higher purpose than I just need to find that again. I need to rekindle that flame for myself after a kind of rough year of just pounding new information into my head and trying to learn my trade. I still feel like I'm incredibly amateur, and if anything, releasing this song as rough around the edges as it is, and just as goofy and silly as it is, just me embracing like that's where I am right now. This is what I'm willing to embrace and just roll with. Yeah, all that to say, I'm having fun. I've found the spirit again, and it all feels good. So yeah, that'll come out on Saturday. I'll probably post a few stories this week, more gear related. I'll talk a little bit about the studio and what I've got to work with right now for those that are inclined to hear about those things. And yeah, it's just nice to be reconnecting and motivated to do music and share things with the world again. And it's great hearing stuff that other people are making too. And that's another thing that just rekindles that flame, is seeing people making things. So I appreciate you all, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Cheers.